And hello, everybody. Welcome to this episode of Do All the Things. We'll be doing everything. We'll be getting everything. You might say a show has it all. Whoa! Yeah. Anyways, hi, hello. Today we got a nice little Triple Troubles worth of Sonic games today. Between Sonic Origins, all mission mode here, along with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, all Emeralds with Tails, and then Sonic R 100% right at the end of it. Absolutely amazing lineup that I'm really excited to show off today. we'll showcase today, rather. Yeah, it's gonna be some good stuff. Really happy about it. Love doing this show, but yeah. Yeah. I guess with that being said, let's get in their first run then. What's up, Slosh? How's it going?
It's going pretty fast as it does in Sonic Land. Hey everyone, I'm Slosh, or Slosh W, doesn't really matter. And this is going to be a Sonic Origins all missions with DLC run. This is a frightening category. So Sonic Origins is one big collection of Sonic 1, Sonic CD, Sonic 2, and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. And it's got a bunch of different modes that you can play in each of the games. Anniversary mode, which is the just 16x9 with infinite lives. Classic mode, the traditional 4x3 with the life system. Boss rush, mirror mode, and of course, mission mode. So mission mode has a collection of challenges for Sonic for all 4 of the games. 5 if you count 3 and Knuckles separately. And they each have different star levels of difficulty. There's a batch for each game included in the game's DLC that are extreme missions, and they're hard. They get the extreme title for a reason. This run, we're playing everything. Every single mission in all 4 of the games, we're gonna be doing it. So I think I'm going to give a quick countdown and then just hop into the run because it's a lot easier to explain the different mission types as we go.
That sounds good to me. Let's do it.
All right, so 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So, big jump across the gap and messed that up anyway. So the way missions work is they're portions of stages that have a specific gimmick. So that one, I had to defeat at least 5 of the Caterkiller enemies before reaching the goal. This mission is just sort of go through the cycles of boxes until you reach the end. This one's kind of slow because it is incredibly cycle dependent. But there's a ton of different challenges that missions can have. Some you'll have to collect a certain number of rings. Some you'll have to get through without damaging any enemies. There are even some that are going to be Eggman fights with a little bit of a twist. Those tend to be my favorite, personally. Also, a mechanic that Sonic has in this game is the drop dash. When you are in the air, you can hold down the jump button again. And when you land on the ground, you will immediately do... I believe it has the same strength as like a one-tap spin dash. But that is extremely useful in mission mode, so I'll be utilizing that quite a bit. But this mission, just running through a large portion of Marble Zone with invincibility sparkles, and I need to collect 100 rings before I reach the end of the stage. I actually have less rings than I normally do at this point in the stage, which is fine because there are a ton right outside here, right at the end.
Perfect.
And there's the Sonic 1 1-star missions. So the stars before the mission name has to do with the mission's difficulty. You know what, I'm gonna maybe not take that air bowl. Let's take that one. The Usually, the star difficulty, I feel like, is pretty accurate of how things go, although there is one set of 4-star missions later in the run that I think is harder than almost every batch of 5 stars. I'll be sure to point that one out when we get there. This one, I wish that there were more missions like this one. This is a mission where I have to defeat at least 10 moto bugs while spin dashing before reaching the end. There aren't really a whole lot of spin dash related challenges, which is a little upsetting because I love spin dashing just all over the place.
That's a bit of a shame, yeah, because like spin dash is such a core mechanic to Sonic overall.
We'll drop dash to get to the end faster. And then I think the next one, yeah, so now we're moving into a Knuckles challenge. So, or mission, rather. Alright, you know what? We're just going to the second portion of the stage now. This might be not a great decision, but I dropped way too early. So that's not ideal. There we go, there we go. You know, this might actually just be a faster route than I usually do. Yeah, I think that was faster. Okay. Alright, noted.
Nice.
So yeah, that one was the Knuckles aerial defeating 15 enemies while gliding. There's a much harder version of that we're going to be seeing in not too long. There are also some mission types in Sonic Origins that repeat throughout each of the games. And the 3-star Mercy missions are one of those. So in each of the games, there will be a mission where I have to get through without dealing any damage to any enemies. This one I always take more carefully than I need to. Have to defeat 10 of those enemies before reaching the end. This mission's name is pretty self-explanatory. Large portion of Spring Yard Zone that you have to get through with 0 rings. This one is actually fairly easy considering the fact that you don't have any rings, as long as you don't like jump too early and get hit by that, I forget the name of the enemy, the Hornet though. It's very easy to jump too early at that portion and just die 16, 17 seconds into the stage. I did that yesterday. Also, a little quirk about the different difficulties in missions is all of the mission difficulties will have 3, except 3 stars have 4 missions per game, and 5 stars have 2 per game. There is one other exception, and that is the Sonic CD Extreme missions, which only have 2 instead of 3, and that is because Knuckles was not playable in Sonic CD in the original version of Sonic Origins. He was added playable in CD in Sonic Origins Plus. And the Extreme missions will have 1 mission for Sonic, 1 mission for Knuckles, and 1 mission for Tails. Tails tends to get the really, really hard Extreme missions. I don't know why, but that's just the way it goes. So this stage you can actually just like skip half of it by damage boosting through the lava and then spin dashing up to the final straightaway. Also, something that is kind of unfortunate about Tails in Sonic Origins is there was recently a patch, and something changed about the way Tails handles in Sonic 1. I'm not exactly sure the specifics of it, but pretty much there are spots on every stage in Sonic 1 where if you jump as Tails, he will just leave. Like, he will just skyrocket straight up into the air and just leave. Also, apparently the game crashes if you're playing as Tails and you jump in the water in Labyrinth Zone. Fortunately, we don't have to do that in this run.
It's very strange.
I have not actually encountered the Tails leaving glitch in mission mode yet, but I would not be surprised if that happens eventually. Also, this is the first of the Eggman fight missions. Pretty much the fight from Starlight Zone, except there is no floor underneath the seesaws, which makes this quite a balancing act.
It's very tricky.
The Eggman missions are another sort of like repeating type of mission in this game. They will always be in the 4-star collections for a game, and every single game has one. My jump button decided that Sonic was going to go down and not up, and that is really not good at that specific. He did it again. All right, you know what? I'm drop dashing. I should have done that the first time, because the drop dash would get me to where I needed to go faster. There we go.
Nice.
That's how that was supposed to look the first time. Well, no, it wasn't, because I still fell.
That seemed really hard, honestly.
Okay, wanted to make sure that I got through that set of spears before I started explaining this mission. So this one, another very self-explanatory name. Sonic starts the mission with one ring, and you have to make it to the end of the stage while still carrying that one singular ring. This is one that I feel like more than any other of the base game missions in Sonic 1 is a big-time learner. It's going to take a lot of trial and error to get through that stage for a little while. And now we're into the first set of extreme missions. So this one, I've got to make it through this stage. Okay, Sonic's going that way, apparently. While having defeated 15 enemies, and I'm not sure. Okay, I need to take a detour to grab that one. Because I messed up the... There we go. I messed up one of the jumps earlier and missed a couple bots, and I knew that that final straightaway had 4, so I needed to have at least 11 going into that. Now we've got easily my least favorite mission of Sonic 1. Knuckles' extreme aerial attack is brutal, because Knuckles gets kind of confused when he tries to hit the caterpillars while gliding. Okay, Alright, now I'm gonna just go back to the start of the stage. Once you hit a certain point of the stage, you can go back to the top of the stage and all of the enemies will have respawned, and I just like missed everything. That is tragic. Fortunately, they're back here. There we go.
Nice.
Now we have actually one of my favorite missions in the entire game. Extreme Duck and Dive. Pretty much just fly to the top of this vertical hallway as Tails and dodge a bunch of hazards. Spikes in the walls, make sure that those retract first. Go around the electricity, wait for this guy to detonate, and then land, jump to start that bomb's detonation, sneak around, and to the goal.
It's so tight. I love that.
That one is so much fun. And that is Sonic 1 out of the way. Now we're moving on to Sonic CD, starting off with a mission that actually utilizes one of Sonic CD's unique mechanics, which is time travel. This mission is just simply time travel twice. There will be one later on where you have to go to both the past and the future. Fortunately, that one has a nice route that you can go to get the time travel signposts fairly quickly. Also, this stage has really fun movement on it. Small stuff. We're playing as Chibi Sonic for about 50 seconds. Large portion of Metallic Madness, utilizing Metallic Madness is shrink and grow laser beam mechanic, but in this case we're just going to be tiny the whole time. That's pretty much all there is to this mission. It's just simply, okay, Sonic wants to jump instead of spin dash, that is setting. It's pretty much just playing through a big chunk of the stage. Something that I comment on a few specific missions in this game fairly often is there are a lot of missions that feel like they're just like a Sonic equivalent to a Mario Maker level. And Small Stuff I feel like is one of the big ones that's like that. There are some that feel like really good Mario Maker stages. And then there's not.
I definitely get those vibes for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's probably, I imagine, like, you're probably gonna get a bad Mario Maker stage at some point where it's like there's just a bunch of enemies everywhere that, like, if you move poorly once, they'll just kill you or something. Right? Is that I think it's gonna happen?
Yeah. So there is one of the extreme missions for Sonic CD that is pretty much just the entire stage is filled with hazards for not really a good reason. I'll comment on it once we get there. This is really not going well though. For sure. Sonic likes to jump instead of spin dash today. I need an air bubble. This is a very temperamental mission because Sonic just sometimes decides he's going to do max jump height, and you very rarely want to see maximum jump height on the stage. Like there, I absolutely do not want maximum jump height. I'm gonna grab a ring. This is one of those missions where you have to defeat a certain number of enemies, and then just as soon as you finish defeating that total, the mission just ends. But yeah, Sonic, not exactly. He's going against his usual thing of going fast, apparently. I probably should have given a flashing lights warning for this stage because the background does flash pretty frequently and it's not great on the eyes. Oh shoot, I was at a completely different part of the stage than I thought I was. So now I need to wait for this platform to go up a bit and then jump over here, and then jump up, and we're pretty much at the end of the stage. That is a stage that has a specific route to it, which was, I mean, that was the optimal route. There are a couple of backups. But, like, last week during practice, for whatever reason, I just sort of forgot what the route was. Which, is not good, because that one, forgetting the route can be costly. Also, why is... Sonic just does not want to spin dash today. Oh man, just barely missed the jump. Trying to jump to that final ledge and then drop dash instead of just drop dashing into the wall. But now we've got our second Mercy mission. This one is a little bit harder than the... Honestly, I would say this one is probably the hardest of the Mercy missions, just because the enemies are very fast and very low to the ground. The Sonic 2 Mercy mission is a little bit temperamental because sometimes if you get hit, even if you have rings, you game over. I really don't understand why. But now, actually thinking about it, I think this is the only instance of a timely technique mission, which is a little upsetting to me because this one's really cool. You have a 10-second timer to reach the end of the stage, but every time you defeat an enemy, the timer resets to 10. There are plenty of enemies sprinkled throughout the stage, so it's never really that big of an issue. but it just makes for a fun little gimmick.
Yeah, I like the gimmick a lot, honestly. Is really the only time it appears?
This mission was actually, I believe, the first mission that was sort of shown in a Sonic Origins trailer to advertise the mode, if I'm remembering correctly. So this one, you just have to fly around as Tails, grab 50 rings, and reach the end of the stage. There is an extreme version of this, and it is something. We should be getting there in only a few minutes because we're already a good chunk of the way through Sonic CD. There is a really, really long mission coming up in 4-star. But before we get there, we've got a fun little, whatever this mission's called, Reverse Time Traveler Redux or something like that. So this is Palm Tree Panic Mirror Mode. And this is the mission that I was talking about earlier where we have to travel to the past and the future. So using that little spring and slope and the time travel signposts right next to the start of the stage, we can go to the past and then return to the present really, really quickly. And then come over to this part of the stage, hit that future signpost, and just bounce around between those springs. And the mission is over. What is the first 4-star? Oh yeah, 100 ring challenge. I always forget about this mission, and I always just sort of feel like, why is this one in 4-star? This is probably the easiest 4-star mission, in my opinion, in the whole game. You just have to run around and collect 100 rings, and usually that doesn't happen. But, you know, that was... Okay, so that's something,
that works.
That's something interesting that I was unaware of. So apparently...
Oh!
If you get hit... after the mission's over, it'll count as a defeat. I did not actually know that.
I didn't even think that could happen. You did, technically. Huh.
That was so weird, too, because it played the little "you finished the mission" jingle. That's why I was so confused.
Damn, that was so odd.
Come on, Sonic.
What a silly video game this is.
There we go.
Nice.
Usually I end up getting the 100th ring over in that little pocket that I did that time, so I usually never have to... I didn't even know that there was an enemy there, I'm gonna be completely honest. Now this is a stage that I am prone to just like losing track of an enemy and then losing a ton of time because of it. I'm going to peel out, jump. So that's another cool mechanic in Sonic CD, is you can hold up and the A button instead of down and the A button to charge the peel out, which just gives Sonic a huge running start. I need to jump down there. And that... there are a lot of instances where, like, that is going to be more useful for gathering speed than the spin dash, but it does not give you the protection that the spin dash gives you. There's the last enemy. That is a stage that's usually the route that I take, and I'm always just sort of forgetting bits and pieces of the route and occasionally missing one enemy, and then I'm running around in circles like, where's the last enemy? Fortunately, not today. Also, this is the cheesiest Eggman strat ever. Alright, fight's over.
Oh, okay, simple.
So,
Very good.
I don't think that when that mission was made, the devs accounted for that being a possibility. Because if they did, I don't feel like that mission would have been 4-star. And it's ironic because that mission early on when I first got the game gave me so much trouble. Alright, what am make sure that I don't fall down there because that is slow. Get that guy out of there. That was risky. This is one of the scariest missions in the entire run because it is a long stretch of stage and you get no rings for it. And there's a lot of things that can just say bye-bye Sonic. That was one of the faster ratings of that stage I've had. I don't think that was my fastest, but that was still really, really good.
Smooth as heck.
Now, Wacky Workbench is a place. This is pretty much a hold right for the most part kind of stage. There are different like times or usually it's time based. Okay, I'm gonna just restart because I completely forgot what mission I was loading it to. And this one is very cycle based. There we go. Okay, what was I talking about? Rankings. That Wacky Workbench mission I cleared in like 17 seconds, and I want to say the time that you have to beat to get S rank's like 50 seconds, if I'm remembering correctly. That's just sort of how Wacky Workbench is. But this was the stage that I was talking about earlier, being sort of like a really bad Mario Maker level. It's just hazards thrown around for what feels like no reason. I'm very glad that I was able to first try that one because that's
nice.
Maybe my least favorite mission in the entire game.
Yeah, that one was very funky.
But now that we're through CD, now we're into the back half of the run, and honestly, the half of the run that I have a lot more fun with. Sonic 2 and Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Okay, I almost didn't jump far enough. There are some questionable missions in Sonic 2, like this one here, Bounce House. You have to bounce up this vertical hallway off of the bumpers, and it's usually a lot more annoying than that. The bumpers were very friendly today. But even with some of the silly missions like that, I honestly adore this mission set. This one also has, towards the end of it, what is, in my opinion, the hardest mission in the game, and also that one might be my favorite. Going to skip that seesaw that was down there. Of course, miss this seesaw. I'm always missing this seesaw. If you land on the bottom seesaw in this sort of like climb section, directly off of the loop, it is possible to just sort of skip one of the seesaw hits, which is, of course, very handy. Spin dash and to the goal.
Nice.
You know what? No, I was about to take a drink of water, but this is not the mission to do that on. The one right after that, after this one is. So, I need to get over to this bumper because wouldn't be Sonic 2 mission mode if there wasn't a silly mission on Casino Night. So pretty much you have to play around in the pinball machine to get 5,000 points and then reach the end of the stage. Fortunately, that bumper just sort of sends you straight into one of those point cages. That was actually the fastest reading of that stage I've ever had, so that's handy.
Nice.
And now we have an auto-scroller. That's...
So I got a question from chat, if you don't mind.
Sure.
So chat's asking, which Sonic CD soundtrack do you prefer? The North American one or the JP/PAL one?
You know, I was asked this a couple nights ago on Passion Project, and my response was, I honestly have forgotten which one it is that I'm playing with.
Fair.
I think I'm playing with the Japanese one. Whichever soundtrack it is that I'm playing with is my preferred one. I think it's the Japanese. But they're both really good.
Nice. Yeah, personally, I think out of all the games here in Sonic Origins, I think Sonic CD is the one I'm least familiar with, so I'm actually not, I can't really answer that question myself, but yeah. I know Sonic is good music though, and I gotta check it out one of these days.
Yeah, for sure. Alright, now we grabbing the rings from the word goal. The way these, I say these because there is actually another plain auto-scroller. That will be showing up later, and that one's actually really hard. Since those are auto-scrollers, the rank that you get, S, A, B, or C is determined on how many rings you have at the end of the stage. The fact that I did not S-rank that one, I'm a little upset about because, okay, I completely forgot what part of the stage I'm on. Because that was like the super easy plane level. But alas, there will be a chance for redemption in the super hard plane level that will be later in the run. I love the supersonic missions, racing to the end of the stage with trying to keep your ring count as high as possible. Now we're on to our third Mercy stage. This is the one that I was talking about earlier, where it'll just like, if you touch an enemy, even if you're not like spin dashing, or even if you have rings, it'll just sometimes randomly decide to kill you. So this is one where you gotta really make sure that you avoid all of the enemies at all costs. And it's not even guaranteed. If you have rings, there will be some times when you live, and there will be other times when you don't. I really do not understand what makes that mission work like that. Yeah. So I don't know why I did a spin dash at the start. That was not smart. Also, I guess that they decided to put both Oil Ocean missions back to back, which is, honestly, I'm not going to complain. I like Oil Ocean. I kind of wish that there was like one more Oil Ocean stage because there are only these two. But they're both pretty neat. One, you're having to avoid enemies, and the other, you're having to just steamroll through as many as possible, which is interesting, I guess. Now, this mission.
Oh,
it's this.
the talkie paddle.
This mission specifically is not that bad. However, remember that Tails' doggy paddle challenge is a mission type for later in this run, because we're only a few minutes away from something truly menacing, and it has to do with Tails and swimming, and I am swimming as Tails very poorly right now. Please don't hit me, thank you. Alright, there we go. And we're pretty much at the end of the level. Yeah, game, I know that Tails is about to drown, we're fine. Now we've got the final 3-star mission of Sonic 2, which I am very prone to doing the silliest mistakes in that beginning straightaway. I have done a spin dash and gone straight onto the spikes. I have just sort of jumped onto the spikes for no reason whatsoever. Don't ask me why, I don't know. But that's pretty much the whole mission. I think I've only died on that mission in the first like 2 or 3 seconds of the stage. Why that's the case, I don't know. But now we've got the set of 4-star missions that I personally feel like is harder than any 5-star set except maybe Sonic CDs because of that first one. This animal rescue mission is really hard. Also, I don't know where that fireball guy is gonna be when I come up here. Okay, right back where he's supposed to be, cool. That's gonna go, and then I'm going to get this guy to throw all of his fire, and then we're going to set this final cage of animals free, drop dash, and move on to a very evil auto-scroller. This was one of the hardest stages for me to get an S rank on, back when the game was new. Because again, like the first plane level in mission mode, this stage's ranks are determined on how many rings you have when you finish the stage. There are a ton of enemies, and all of their projectiles move at double speed. And also there are those starfish bots from Metropolis Zone. I'm gonna just spin dash, get that guy out of there, and not set off that starfish on the top, because I know that that set of rings is right past that turtle. I don't know how I didn't get hit there. That makes up for it, I think. That should be the end of the stage. That one is honestly really scary. Earlier this week in practice, I did some sort of spin dash thing off of the final turtle on the bottom of the screen, and Tails missed me with his plane and couldn't catch me, and I just sort of fell off the stage a minute in. So don't do that. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Drop water on you? Huh.
Eggman really wanted to step it up in Sonic 2 after his performance in Sonic CD, I think. That was, in my opinion, the hardest of the Eggman missions, and also the most fun and satisfying to complete, just because it is so hard. Now we've got a rather unique mission. Good shot, Tails. Because of how Tails can be, this mission can get temperamental, sort of like that. You have to guide Tails through the entire stage, and if Tails gets hit once, like he did a few seconds ago, you game over. I'm going to just skip that section. Okay, Tails actually made it back up there. That usually doesn't happen. That was what was supposed to happen the first try, but I sort of messed up some of the jumps. The tough get going. Another collect certain number of rings and make it to the goal sort of thing. Also, these arrow launchers are really irritating because they'll just sometimes decide to fire a second time. And the final set is very prone to doing that. On this set right up here. Knuckles, you were supposed to spin dash, man! Well, that happened. Maybe I need to be jumping with one of my other jump buttons. Or like charging spin dashes, because dang, my A button's been temperamental today. Let's try this a second time. There we go. And did not have the extra set of arrow shoot. Also, for some reason, there's just like a cliff right off screen that Knuckles will just roll off after you finish. I don't know why that's there, but it's a really funny visual. With this, the wall just gradually going further and further down.
You just gotta go. It's all good.
Facts. Come on. These boxes are on very frustrating cycles sometimes. This is actually not good. There we go. That supersonic finish challenge is a lot scarier than the one earlier in the run because there's a lot less rings to work with. And here we go. This is, in my opinion, the hardest mission by a decent amount in the entire game. I, at one point, was like, this is probably the third hardest mission in the game. And then I was like, nah, this is the second hardest. And then I really started running all missions more than the, like, segmented individual game mission set runs, and nah, this one's the hardest. This one I honestly think it plays to me very similarly to like really, really well designed like super expert and expert difficulty stages from Mario Maker. I honestly really like this one, even though it is very hard and that guy's gonna troll me a little bit. I need another air bubble. Okay, there we go. Now run past here. Get this guy off the wall because he loves to just hit. I did not account for how low that spike ball swings. Alright, there we go. Took that a bit slower than usual, but I think I've had 1, maybe 2 runs of any category that has that mission ever where I did not die a minute into the stage, so I would prefer to go about 20 seconds slower and ensure a first try than play for the most optimal time and get punished for it right at the end of the stage.
It's like I always say, sometimes you gotta go slow to go fast. I get it entirely.
Exactly. that mission is like the embodiment of that phrase, I think. Now we are into the final game of the run already. Sonic 3 and Knuckles. I already screwed up this stage at the beginning. Still 10-second clear is really good, but you can get like 7 or 8-second clears if you time the first jump to the first bat bot and then the jump off the block like perfectly. Now, unfortunately for me, this is the only time Sandopolis Zone will be making an appearance in the entire run. And it's already over.
Dang.
The Sonic 3 and Knuckles missions without DLC is probably... My PB in that is probably my most optimized speedrun I've got. So this is like a super comfy, cozy portion of the run for me. There's not really a stage that like worries me in Sonic 3 and Knuckles until the extreme missions. The Eggman mission used to be a little bit rough. I don't know why I tried to run up that without the spring. I know that you can't do that. Also, that mission is called Ring Vacuum. There's a stage that's a few down, you can see on the mission list, called Ring Vacuum 2. I don't know why it's called that, because it's more of just a showcase of the elemental shields. And like that's literally the whole point of the mission. Whereas the Ring Vacuum, you have to use the lightning shield to magnetize a bunch of rings to you and then make it to the end of the stage. This animal rescue mission, if I'm remembering correctly, also was like in the same trailer with the Palm Tree Panic one that Tails did earlier, in like one of the first trailers showing off the mode. Now we've got Tails' Balloon Burst in Lava Reef. This was a fun stage to route out. Because this was one that used to take me forever to finish, and then I was like, you know what, I need to find a route that actually is fast on this stage. I was like, how can I chain bounces together? And that is literally the whole idea of going fast on that stage. Because each time you hit one of the balloons, you gain a bunch of height. And that's going to actually be really useful when we reach the actually final mission in the run.
Ooh.
And now we are done with the Mercy missions, which is a little bit sad. Those are always a lot of fun for me. But now we've got Carnival Night showing off the 3 elemental shields. We've got the Bubble Shield, which repels projectiles, lets you breathe underwater, and you can do the bubble bounce. Now we've got the fire shield, makes you immune to fire, repels projectiles, and you can do the fire dash. And then the lightning shield magnetizes rings, makes you immune to electricity, and gives you a double jump, and also I think repels some projectiles. Honestly, I'm never in a spot on that stage where that would come into play, so I've actually forgotten if the lightning shield repels projectiles like the others or not. I think it does, but don't quote me on that. Dang it. There was a while when I would call this mission Time Lost City Zone. Because of that enemy right there. For the longest time, I could not stop just jumping straight into that guy. And that's a lot of time lost, because you need 50 rings to reach the end of the stage. And by that point, I mean, the ring count was already at like 20 or so when I got hit, so oof. This was another really fun mission to like sort of route out and try and optimize to the fullest. You have to defeat 5 of each of the roosters and the butterflies while using the fireball dash. Which honestly is a really fun gimmick for a stage, in my opinion. But there's actually not much more of this run left. We've only got 4 stars, 5 stars, and extremes. The 4-star missions are kind of long, because this one you've got to navigate all of Angel Island, well, not all of, but a big chunk of Angel Island to take out 15 Rhinobots, which is a lot less tedious than it sounds, because the route for it is super fun to use. Usually it involves sort of going along the top and then chaining as many of the jumps off of the swings into either another form of movement or defeating a Rhinobot as possible. I've never actually made that jump without like hitting the swing at a point in the cycle where Sonic will grab it. So I wasn't actually ready to clear the gap. That was unfortunate. Although if I had cleared the gap and then gone into a spin dash and taken out that Rhinobot, I might have had too much speed and fallen off the back, which would have been a huge amount of time loss. So I'm pretty sure I would have had to go all the way back around. Also, this stage has something right at the end of it that has always confused me. There's one of these spinning spiky enemies, I don't know why I did that, that sometimes I'll get hit when I spin dash into him, and other times I'll just keep on going and destroy the enemy and go straight to the goal really fast. I don't understand what, like, causes the difference. Also, the start of this mission is really obnoxious because of the jets of fire. There we go. Got 3 hits. Okay, I almost missed all of the rings, and that would have been really bad. So yeah, the gimmick of this Eggman fight is, if you're familiar with Sonic and Knuckles, it's pretty obvious. The rows of spikes are like twice as frequent, at least, as they normally are, which took a lot of getting used to, like how to navigate through those without anything going wrong. Which things went wrong a lot. That stage is a lot of trial and error to learn. Now, I don't know if this is the flying battery or not, because it looks different than it does at the end of Mushroom Hill, but oh my gosh, I actually died on this mission. No one saw that. No one was watching for that 23-second window of time. Let's just pretend.
Watching what?
Let's just pretend that never happened.
What happened?
Don't worry about it.
You got it.
So, yeah, this is an auto-scroller where this ship is dropping a bunch of enemies and missiles, and you have to take out 10 enemies. Fortunately, for one thing, it drops 11 on each cycle, but also if you don't get 10 while the ship is flying around, it's not an instant loss. The ship does come back, however, that is very slow because the whole cycle has to play out again. Now we've got the final 5-star mission of the run, a mirror mode, Hydro City Act 2 wall chase sequence. Honestly, it's not really that hard unless you're going for S rank. If you're going for S rank, then it's a lot harder because you have to make sure that you're grabbing all of the rings. Now we're into the final set of extreme missions, and this one I might try to focus a little bit more for because of timing and whatnot. Another fireball dash where I have to take out a bunch of enemies with the Fire Shield's Fire Dash. But this one can be a little bit temperamental at times, where it'll just decide that the frog is going to win the fight against the Fire Shield, which is always unfortunate. Fortunately, there are a ton of backup Fire Shields sprinkled throughout the stage. Alright, all of those are gone now. Now I just need to get back to the start of the stage to take out a bunch of the birds that were early on, and also grab this Fire Shield. I hope I'm... yeah, okay. I was about to say, I hope that I'm over ground right now, because as you saw earlier in that mission all the way on the right, if you go into the water with a Fire Shield, the water's gonna win. And I did not want to have to go and find another Fire Shield because that would have been slow. Also, Knuckles is in Death Egg now. He usually can't do that. This stage took me forever to get an S rank on, actually just to clear in general. That's really bad. Okay, no, never mind. One of the rings landed on me. So that's what I was trying to have happen. If you damage boost off that enemy the right way, it's really cool and really fast. And now we are on to the final mission of the game, so time will be coming up when I reach the signpost on this stage. For a while, I thought that this stage was the hardest in the game, until I started doing the full run with the DLC missions and realized Chemical Plant Tales is way harder. Because there are 20 of these balloons that you have to pop, and there's some of these fire jets that are on the ceiling. There is one balloon later on that under most circumstances, you have to hit a balloon that shoots you straight up to where it spins around, and you pretty much are doing that jump blind. There we go. Got past it. There is a way to sort of just like hover right in the right spot. Time.
GG.
Oh, Tails was friendly today. Tails can sometimes decide the run is not gonna happen, and I'm very glad that the Tails missions went well.
Let's go.
I usually cannot get through a run of this without one of the Extreme Tails missions going horribly wrong, and I think I first tried all of them, which I'm very, very happy about.
I think so, yeah. I don't remember you having to redo any of them at all.
Real quick, what was my time?
I think I saw on the stream as a 51:05, I want to say. Yep.
Wow, that is, I think, within 30 seconds of record. That was really
nice.
That was a really good run.
I think it only had like a handful of deaths too. Like it was very minuscule at all. Like that was really nice.
Yeah, that went much smoother than mission mode can go. This is a very challenging mode, so I am really, really happy with how that run went.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I'm gonna real quick give a few shout outs and then hop out, and also I need to hop out anyway because it is starting to thunder outside.
Oh no.
Shout outs to the Classic Sonic speedrunning community. Really cool group of people, really supportive. I have had so much fun grinding down Amy Rose ILs since that update with a bunch of the community members. Shout outs to you, Shasta, and to GDQ as well for having me on this. This was a lot of fun. I'm really, really glad that I was able to show off mission mode on the GDQ channel because I don't feel like this mode gets run enough. So like
it's really cool.
I really am glad that I was able to show off how cool this mode can be. Shameless plug. If you enjoyed this run, I speedrun a lot of Sonic over on twitch.tv//w. And I also post a fair amount of...
Go follow Slosh.
Huh?
I was saying, go follow Slosh. Do it.
I also post a lot of like off-stream Sonic Origins ILs over on my YouTube channel, which is also /w. I think the most recent one that I did was like a second place on Chemical Plant, which is a really tight IL. But yeah, I think that's all from me. Thanks again for having me. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. Quick question before you go. What's your favorite Sonic character?
Favorite Sonic character is probably a tie between Amy Rose and Silver the Hedgehog.
Nice. I'm same way with probably Knuckles and Vector. I like both of them a lot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm probably going to ask everyone that question today, so I just want to make sure I get that out of the way before we go.
All right.
That being said, though, it's cool that we end this mission mode with Sonic 3 and Knuckles, because the next run is actually Sonic 3 and Knuckles. But we're getting all the emeralds there of Tails, and Soundfist's going to be doing that, so stick around, everybody. We'll be back after the break with exactly that. All right, everybody, welcome back to more Do All the Things. Once again, we're doing everything today, like all of it. Whoa, ridiculous. Anyways, you just saw some Sonic 3 and Knuckles right at the end of Sonic Orange's run, and now we're going to see Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the full game, with the sound effects right here, getting all the emeralds to save Tails. Hello, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be here. Thank you so much for having me on.
Absolutely, thank you for being here.
We're not the only ones here, though, are we?
Maybe.
Is there anyone else here? Please speak now.
Ah, yes, I am here as well.
Jump scare.
Mystery voice, hello.
Hi, I'm Supersonic. I'll be here for the commentary side of things for this Tails All Emeralds run.
Great, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Now to turn and face my television. I am not playing this on a monitor. I am lo-fi. But, yeah, I think... I need to talk about the game a little bit, probably, don't I? It's been a while since I did this. So, yeah,
That'd be a good idea.
we're going to be playing through Sonic 3 and Knuckles, the original, on the Sega Genesis. I'm going to be playing as Tails, and I'm going to be collecting all 14 things. Those things specifically being Chaos Emeralds and Super Emeralds. And that requires what would normally be kind of boring to watch special stages, but I hope that the way that I play the special stages will be a lot more interesting for your eyeballs. Please leave feedback in the chat. Anything else we need to go over before I hit this here reset button?
I think we're good to go. I'll be explaining things as we go, so whenever you're ready.
All right, let's get this counted down in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. And we're off.
All right, here we are in Angel Island. So right off the bat, we don't get a fancy cutscene that Sonic usually gets. Tails just pretty much starts off at the beginning of the level, and we're going to go into our first special stage, in which entering this big ring here.
I got so owned at the beginning. Nobody saw that.
No, we saw nothing. Everything was totally fine.
What were we supposed to see there? I'm sorry.
Nothing. I definitely did not get horribly owned by ceiling and spikes. Nothing happened.
That's good. That'd be embarrassing if you did.
It sure would. There'd be like 800 people watching that.
Yeah.
Close. That right there, I was trying to
here
do was a frame perfect jump over 2 bumpers. It's not easy to do.
Yeah, like the hitboxes for these spheres are very interesting to say the least, especially the red ones, because looks are very deceiving in the special stages. The hitboxes for the red spheres are actually a lot more tinier than you think. So you'll kind of see Sound Defense just kind of jump over them with ease. That's because they're very tiny hitboxes. But aside from that, we just got our first Chaos Emerald here out of all the things that we need.
All of them.
Yeah.
All of them.
I like that.
One of all collected. You probably noticed I did not do some of those blue spheres the way they're supposed to be done. Get on the bumper. So there is a bug in the special stages that determines whether or not you have made a shape, because normally when you create a shape in a bunch of blue spheres, like it turns everything into rings, but we have found ways to manipulate this algorithm and bug it out, and we would collect blue spheres and turn them into rings when we're not normally supposed to, and I will be making liberal use of that throughout the run.
So definitely a couple of things that differ between Sonic and Tails here. Since they do pretty much go somewhat similar routes, there will be some slight differences later in the run. Tails does have a shorter hitbox, so you kind of notice that Sound Defense just ran underneath the spikes earlier. Sonic would have to just stand there and spin dash and wait for the spikes to go away. So that's one big advantage that Tails has, although it could be some disadvantages as well in the later levels to come. But for the time being, Tails does have the power of flight as well. So he can fly to different areas of the game that Sonic cannot access. And here we are in our second special stage here. So usually you don't necessarily have to create a shape with these blue spheres. You can just kind of make them all red and just keep going. It is actually more beneficial to not turn them into rings or actually like not collect the rings either, because it does cost a little bit more time for the scores to count down.
Mm-hmm. Every ring I collect is another frame wasted.
Mm-hmm. Kind of see he's utilizing the small hitboxes for the red spheres to jump across fairly easily. Getting into our last batch of blue spheres here, and we'll be done with this special stage. So we got 2 of the 14 things.
Yeah, those red spheres, they are very scary because they're, big and red like a stoplight, but you can jump around and through them a lot more easily than you might think. I'm going to be horribly abusing this later. Not hit the wall? Okay, good. I didn't hit the wall. So yeah, Tails, he can fly, and we make use of that sometimes, but the thing about flying is that it's actually pretty slow. So I try to only fly when necessary to complete the route. Most of the rest of the time I will be spin dashing or jumping.
Yeah, spin dashing is one of the main forms of movement in this game. You can pretty much rev up to 6 taps, which would give you about 100% speed. Sometimes, depending on how you rev up the spin dash, it'll pretty much give you different forms of speed. So sometimes you'll hear us say like 1 tap, 3 tap, 6 tap. Those are just different variations of the spin dashing that we're doing.
This special stage right here is definitely my favorite special stage, and it should be clear why in a moment or two. But from here, I'm going to ask for a little bit of silence so I can do this correctly.
You got it.
Okay, done with that. That is never not going to be scary. Holy cow.
Oh, it's really cool.
Thank you. Yeah, it's so much fun to do, but you really have to pay a lot of attention.
The moonwalk is so swag. I'm so about it, honestly.
It's the best. That moonwalk saves slightly less than a second, just because I don't have to do a full turnaround at the end. Absolutely worth the trouble it took to learn. Oh, I see the chat is enjoying that very much. Thank you, chat.
Yeah, we'll be seeing more variations of those special stages later on as we are approaching our first boss fight. And we have a tiny bit of an auto scroller here. They're just pretty much holding right while avoiding these bombs in the sky here.
Someone in chat says, would love to see that again. I have good news. We will be seeing that coming up again in Mushroom Hill. Someone else asked, when is the All Emeralds Moonwalk only? Unfortunately, it's not possible due to some of the later special stages. Oh, this will kill me. I'm dead. I jumped slightly too early. Well, we get to see the bombing sequence again. This is why my estimate is 8 minutes higher than my PB.
Yeah, definitely. What he tried to do there, he tried to go for a 1-cycle kill and then utilize his extra jump to fly safely across to the platform again. Although, like, the hitboxes for the for Robotnik's arms on that ship, like whenever he's throwing a fireball, the hitbox activates. So he had to be at a certain height in order to just keep bouncing on him and then just fly back to safety.
Yeah, my timing was off again. That's what I wanted.
There, that's a lot better.
All right. I'd have a totally normal, non-worrisome number of lives right now.
It's fine.
Yeah, I'm about to reset and get some more, so it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, cutscene skips are something you're going to be seeing a few times, because my save file, it takes over to the next stage as soon as the score counter for Act 2 is done counting down. So if there's a long cutscene, I can just reset and skip it, and sometimes it's worth it. And this will be crucial for an upcoming skip, which we will point out when the time comes. In the meantime, I just jumped over the ceiling here. Tails can't fly above the ceiling, but he can jump above it. And so I made use of that right there.
Getting the invincibility to get a very easy kill on this boss. The washing machine, as I like to call it. The best part is we don't get to see the washing machine part, because that actually wastes time.
Ah, dang. I did not get the music glitch. If I can kill the boss quickly enough after getting the invincibility, we'll be hearing the normal stage music right now instead of the level end jingle. Oh well, no big deal. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the normal part of the game, because it's about to come to a screeching halt.
And it's going to be very broken. Oh no, you died.
Ah, man, I have so few lives.
Actually, this is definitely intended. The reason being is because if he did not intentionally die there, if he did this level wrap or horizontal underflow glitch, he would actually soft lock in the wall. This is why we have to take an intentional death to unload Act 1 from Act 2, so we can perform this glitch here. And then he's going to be standing at a specific spot on the water cyclone to safely get the remainder hits on Robotnik. And you're done with Hydro 2. I mean, we didn't get to hear a lot of the iconic music of this level, but we got to go fast and get all the things.
Oh my, are we doing this poll again?
Oh my god.
Oh no.
I love Splishy Splashy Fun Time, my favorite song stage.
There is no escape from this.
It's going to be an ongoing debate for all eternity.
Hydrosity. It's just fun to say. I'm sorry. You can't hate on me for that one.
It's all good.
I take umbrage with everyone who calls it hydrosity and they aren't even European. You have no excuse for that.
I know it's Hydro City, but it's fun to say. I don't know.
So here we are in the Coca-Cola special stage here.
Ooh. Get all the Pepsi spheres, I see.
I mean, we will see a Crystal Pepsi special stage in a couple stages from now, but
Ooh.
in the meantime, while he's grabbing these blue spheres here, he's going to be doing something similar he did in the third special stage. So we're going to give him a little bit of quiet time so he can do that.
Nice and quick.
There we go, easy.
Nice.
You ever just
There we
collect 34 spheres at once?
So there we go. We got 4 out of the 14 emeralds required for the 100% completion.
Okay. And right
With-
there, I just did a super fly. I bounced off of that spring while flying, and it just sends me upwards very quickly while still flying.
Yep, and with the utilization of Tails' flight, we're able to access the next special stage, which is one of the shorter special stages in this run. There's not many blue spheres to grab here. Still some pretty scary looking red sphere jumps, but
Oh yeah,
no problem.
very
whatsoever.
scary one coming up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second here.
Got it.
Right there, that looks terrifying because I am jumping 1 square length earlier than I otherwise would, because that makes the timing work out a little better. But man, it looks like I am just jumping to my death.
So there we go. Just like that, we have 5 emeralds now. The last 2 Chaos Emeralds will be grabbed in Ice Cap Zone, which is 2 zones away. So for the time being, we're going to be seeing the entirety of Marble Garden 1, and then we're going to be going for a really neat skip in Marble Garden 2.
Almost the entirety of Marble Garden 1. I am going to skip past a little bit of it right here.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
So this is another unique thing about this stage, and there's like another stage later in the run. So what he did there was a screen wrap, which is a vertical wrap. So Marble Garden in general is a vertically infinite level. So he's able to object phase through various things as well as go to a different section of the level by utilizing the camera being panned down and then jumping right as you release the crouch button. And it'll kind of make the camera just act a little crazy, and then it struggles to find out where Tails is. So everything that's around Tails will be unloaded, so he's able to kind of traverse through various areas of the level.
And no, it's not a vertical wrap here. It's just abusing my ability to spin dash on slopes. We're going up and over, and it's another horizontal underflow. I'll see you at the end of the stage.
See you there?
So he's actually arriving in Knuckles' boss fight instead of the normal Sonic and Tails fight. But Tails can actually do the level wrap in the section where Knuckles can, since he can pretty much fly up and over the wall. And in this fight here, so with Knuckles, like Knuckles has a shorter jump height and such, so this fight may seem a little more difficult. But with Tails, it's no problem at all, and you can just grab the capsule here and be done with the level.
That is a tougher boss fight than it looks if you want to do it fast, because you have to do some really well-timed spin dashes and damage boosts to get 4 hits per cycle. 53 seconds is a good time for this. Oh, now we're really going to have some fun. Want to explain Carnival Night while I do this?
Oh, yeah. So, Carnival Night here has a very unique glitch called the wheel glitch. So you'll see that Tails pretty much grazed his head on the bottom of the wheel there, and that pretty much gives him this wheel glitch property, in which he'll just kind of fly across the stage and then just go all the way to the boss fight here.
Just walking horizontally, no big deal or anything.
Oh yeah, and you'll just see him kind of casually walking on the wall. Totally
Vertically,
normal.
that's the right direction.
So we got this this boss fight here. What he's gonna do is he's gonna land on the spinning top. I'm gonna utilize the spin dash to uncover the exposed area for the spike top to hit him. And he's gonna roll on him because the one thing he cannot do is jump. Because if he ends up jumping, he will actually lose the property of wheel glitch, in which he needs it for this upcoming act right here in Carnival Night Act 2. He's going to be utilizing the wheel glitch to go up onto the ceiling and skip the entirety of the level.
Also, see you later sign.
Yep, the sign is just like inside the ground.
Yep.
It's gone.
Anyone can do that. Just hold down at the end of the stage.
That's all you need.
All right, give me a second here. This is also tricky. Okay, good. I had to rub my butt against a very specific part of the wall in order to shoot myself up into the ceiling. If I had touched the wrong part of the wall with my butt, it would be a soft lock. Actually, it wouldn't be a soft lock. You can roll out of it. It would just add like 3 minutes to the run. Now I'm going to go into the tunnel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All good children go to heaven. And now just one more good spin dash. No, dang it. I jumped instead of spin dashing, so now instead of a really cool boss fight, I'm going to have the most painful boss fight. This fight with Tails normally is just awful.
Yeah, he actually wanted to utilize a spin dash while inside the tunnel so he can be above Robotnik and just get all 8 quick hits in there. But in this case, this boss fight is annoying in general. So he just dropped this ball and utilizes this electricity to try to pretty much lure Tails towards it. But
yeah,
TSD just crushed it right there.
If I had done it right, I would have been above Robotnik and just bopped on his head several times. But unfortunately, I had to do some damage boosting. Now for Ice Cap, it's time. Put your best jam emotes in the chat, please, because this is a jam.
Yeah, get all the jams out. We will be grabbing 2 more emeralds in this level, so the first one's going to be right here. And this is the Crystal Pepsi level, as I like to call it.
Oh, absolutely. Look at that.
So I am fairly certain that the first 7 special stages, their color palettes are based on what were the original first 7 levels of the game, back when Flying Battery was in between Carnival Night and Ice Cap. Then they had to make 7 more, and they just, I don't know, we need more colors, what do we do? And they picked some not very good colors for some of these stages.
Yeah, we will see some of the unappealing color palettes in the special stages, so...
Yep, I'll be sure to point them out.
Yeah, for sure.
This special stage route is really weird. It's kind of maze-like. A lot of Gordian's knots and things like that. But thankfully, because there are not many difficult jumps, it's actually pretty chill.
There we go. We are out of that special stage. So that is number 6. And then number 7 is immediately below it.
Yep, we'll be there in a matter of seconds.
And then we're going to do some more fun things.
Yep. As soon as we get all of the emeralds in a stage, we just leave. We're done with that stage.
Here we are in special stage number 7. This is the launch-based color palette.
Yep.
Right. Or is this the Falling Battery color palette?
No, this is launch-based.
Launch-based, okay.
More or less.
Personally, as someone from Los Angeles, I'd say it's the Los Angeles Lakers color palette. That's just me.
Yes, yeah, that can be definitely the Lakers palette too.
Oh, I was so close on that one set of jumps. All right, 1 second, guys.
Yep.
Okay, all of those jumps are a little bit scary. One of the things you can do to make jumps go a lot easier in these special stages is to piano roll your controller. When you want to jump once, just drum all of your fingers across all the buttons like that, and you're more likely to get the jump on the first possible frame. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Ice Cap, because we're about to leave in style.
All right, so here we go. We're utilizing the slope glitch. So he's going to be kind of traversing through the stage diagonally to the right.
Do I still have slope glitch? I do still have slope glitch.
Yeah, you still have it. Yeah.
I have no idea where I am.
You're in
I'm
Sonic's
in-
corridor.
I am in Sonic's corridor. This is going to be interesting. Whoops, I flew. I should be jumping.
Yeah, should be able to arrive in the boss arena here.
Okay, cool. I have no rings. I hate this. I hate having no rings.
Oh no.
Time to be extra careful. Oh my god, I'm so scared.
You're fine, you're fine.
Come over here, you coward. Okay.
Nice.
So, this was probably incredibly unclear. I wasn't supposed to fight that boss. I was supposed to just find the loading zone to launch base. It unfortunately did not work out because I mistimed one of my left to right presses. Alright, now I need an audio cue. Give me a second, please. That should be good. Bird friend, where are you? Okay, I don't know why that didn't work.
Might have been a little early.
This is more precise than it looks. Alright, now I think I'm good. Yeah, there we go.
is.
This bird friend is going to help me skip launch base. Thank you, bird friend.
So what he ended up doing there is, while he had the camera panned up, he took an intentional hit from the bird to clip inside the bed of spikes, which would allow him to do a level wrap. And this is actually Knuckles' boss fight area. But we can actually access this area by glitching through the walls with Sonic and Tails. But with Tails, since he has the ability to fly, he can actually fight the bosses safely up here. And what he wants to do is kill one of these off, because we're going to need the second one for Act 2.
6, 8, 10. Okay, I think we should... Yeah, we're still good here. So I just destroyed one of these boss enemies, and the game says, oh, you're Tails, and you beat a boss enemy. I guess Act 1 is over. So the screen turns up, and now the act is ending. So now, I am going to jump up and destroy this boss enemy, and the game says, oh, you beat a boss enemy in Act 2. I guess Act 2 is over. So after about 7 seconds, the Act 2 screen comes on, and we're done in 0 minutes and 0 seconds.
That's ridiculous.
The one problem here is that I am nowhere near the loading zone for Mushroom Hill, but remember about the save files? As soon as this is done counting down, it sends me right to the next stage. And I'm in Mushroom Hill. And that is the best skip in the game, right there.
That's so cool. I love just the glitch sprites in general. It's so awesome.
This game is held together by duct tape, and it is kind of a miracle that everything comes together perfectly to make that skip happen. Anyway, I hope you enjoy special stages, because you're going to see all the remaining special stages here in Mushroom Hill.
Yes.
Yep. Since we just completed the Sonic 3 half of the game, this is the Sonic and Knuckles half of the game now. So Sound Defense pretty much has the freedom of picking any of these emeralds as he chooses. So he does have a specific order that he's going to go by saving the last emerald in the center, which is actually special stage 1. But the reason why we leave that for last is because the camera will be pretty much panning straight into the center, and it's gonna do this little glowing thingy. So, yay, you got all the emeralds. You can now turn into.
Can we stick a pin in this real quick?
Yeah.
Sorry, gotta focus. Oh, thank goodness. That is
There we
the
go.
scariest special
Nice.
stage.
There we go. So
Very good.
as I was saying, so we basically leave the last emerald in the center for last because it does this little cutscene to where the camera's kind of panning directly into the center, and it'll just say, you know, congrats, you got all the emeralds. You can now turn into super this and so. And yeah, that's the reason why we can pretty much pick any of these emeralds in whatever order you'd like.
Yeah. If you pick that emerald I just did last, you lose 4 seconds just waiting for the camera to pan. So always end in the center. But otherwise you can do whatever order you want. So I start with the hardest special stage first, so my speedruns can end more quickly if something screws up. Now most of these are going to look very weird, but they're a lot more chill than they appear to be. So this one is very goofy, what's going to happen right here. Oop. And turn. So if you jump on a yellow sphere with just the right spacing, you can buffer a turn input and the sphere will turn you before it launches you, which is very funny to look at.
Yep, and the
rest
and
of the stage
Knuckles
is pretty straightforward. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, the and Knuckles stages introduced the yellow spheres, which is basically just springs. They may seem useful for some of these stages, but other than that, they're just kind of there.
Yeah, they had to add something new for Sonic and Knuckles. I think Sonic Mania did the same. They added double spheres that you have to hit twice, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's right.
I'm glad to see the chat appears to be enjoying the special stages.
Hey, chat's also asking, what's your favorite special stage?
It was the third one I did, the first time you saw me moonwalking. That's my favorite one. My second
good one,
favorite
honestly.
one is Super Emerald 4, which is going to be not this upcoming one, but the one afterwards. This one right here is the emerald with the worst color palette. Feast your eyes on this.
Ugh.
Yeah.
The hot pink is fine. It's the other color that's getting me a bit.
It's like very
But in combination
precisely
together-
the color of vomit.
It is pretty disgusting, but
It's a little gross.
yeah, I don't know what they were thinking when they were coming up with these color palettes, but I guess they wanted to make it look presentable in some way, but
They didn't do a great job this time.
there we go. At least we're out of there now.
Nice.
Oh, that's right. There was, in Sonic Mania, in the Blue Spheres mode, they had pink warping spheres. I forgot about those.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about those too.
But yeah, we are just speeding through all of these emeralds. Mushroom Hill takes a long time, and like 80% of it is being in emerald stages. Normally, if this was not an all emeralds run, we would be just completely skipping past Mushroom Hill with a pair of glitches that let us zoom individually to the end of each stage. But I have done a lot of tests to determine what I think is the optimal route, and it always involves getting all the emeralds in Mushroom Hill. It's just too convenient. This is my second favorite special stage right here, because it's very short. We are going to collect the last blue sphere before the music speeds up. So give me a second here. That specific jump right there is really scary, but it's a lot less scary if you do the piano roll technique that I showed earlier. And here we go. I collect the blue sphere, and right there the music speeds up. That's the shortest special stage.
Yep, and that is Super Emerald number 4, right?
I actually think it's number 2. Now that I think about it.
Oh, the special stage itself. Yeah, that's number 2.
Yeah, but it's our 4th Super Emerald. Yeah,
Yeah, gotcha.
the order I take these is 7, 6, 3, 2, 5, 4, 1. Partly for legacy reasons, just because when I was doing, like, Sonic has the same order, and we would do it that way because we thought we needed an electric shield to get up to the top emeralds real fast. It turns out you can just jump and it's plenty fast, but the order has still stuck around.
End of Mushroom Hill Act 1, and then Mushroom Hill Act 2, he'll be grabbing the last 3 Super Emeralds, thus collecting all the things.
Yep. And
I like that.
here's this guy who we've never seen before in this run. Who is he?
Who?
I don't know. Did anyone know who that guy is?
Oh,
He
it's
seems
easy.
mad.
It's Hypnotics.
Oh, it's Hypnotics. Oh, hey.
The Hypnotics?
That is the Hypnotics.
Yo.
Of Knuckles' chaotic speedrunning fame.
It is indeed Hypnotics, yes.
Okay.
Chaotix?
Whenever I talk about Hypnotics, I have to make sure I'm not confusing him with Nimputs. The two are very similar.
I'll take your word for it on that one.
It is
Alright, so
possible.
this one...
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to mention, like, this one's special stage number 5, I believe.
Yep.
This one's pretty straightforward for the most part. Like, nothing really crazy happens in this special stage. It is very linear as well, because the singular spheres kind of lead you towards where you need to go. So it's pretty simple.
Yeah, I mean, there's some red sphere jumps, but they're really not too bad. They're just groups of 4. Those are easy to do. What I was trying to do earlier was jump over those groups of 2 rings so that I wouldn't get one. It is a frame-perfect jump, and if you miss it, you lose 1 frame. So it is like the most difficult low-stakes trick in speedrunning. I mean, I guess I say that, but that's not exactly true. I jumped at the wrong time. Because in my Sonic All Emeralds world record, I got a sub 54 by exactly 2 frames. And by using that ring trick, I managed to save 3 frames in an earlier special stage. So I guess in some occasions it's worth it. But no, it wasn't by 2 frames. It was literally 1 frame. It was the fastest possible, it was the slowest possible sub 54. They had to like go in and retime it and then reevaluate their retiming methods to make sure that it was in fact the time that it was.
That's probably another thing that we forgot to mention is like how we time this game. So normally in the classic Sonic games, we time it with in-game time for Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 because each level has a screen transition. But in this case, for Sonic 3 and Knuckles, we time it by RTA minus TB, which is minus time bonuses. So usually when we do our speedruns, during the score countdowns, the timer would pause for the amount of time that the score takes to count down the time bonus. And we still have it with RTA as well as a secondary timing method. But since they don't have any screen transitions per levels in this game, and also IGT is very inconsistent as well for some of the later levels in the run, which is why we time it with RTA minus TB.
Yeah, we would do pure RTA, but that would lead to instances where you need to slow yourself down a little bit in order to get a faster RTA time, just because it would lead to a smaller time bonus, and that's faster. And we all collectively decided we didn't want to do that, and that was silly. Yeah, there's a great clip of a GDQ race of Sonic 2 where one player gets a really fast Emerald Hill one time, and the other player purposely slows down and waits so he avoids the long time bonus, and they end up going into Emerald Hill 2 at just about the same time. It's ridiculous.
That's pretty funny.
So here we are in our last special stage, which is actually special stage number 1 in the and Knuckles half. I like to call this the This looks like Sprite or 7-Up, maybe.
I can see that. At first I was thinking it was the "Oh God, my eyes" stage. That's just me.
I mean, that works too.
You're not wrong. These are some bright,
so bright.
unrelenting colors.
Yeah, this one's also fairly short and it can be also easy to get lost as well, but we're out of there anyway.
It's a lot more precisely routed than you might think, because some of those sharp turns I did, how sharply you can turn depends on previous turns you did earlier in the stage, which is a really weird mechanic. But
And here we go. We got all the things here.
Hooray!
now,
I like that.
I can be Super Tails, and I will be Super Tails right now. Will I get the broken flickies? Nope, I get the normal non-broken flickies.
So this is Super Tails. He has 4 flickies flying around him, and they're basically like supersonic. They pretty much have the ability to home in on enemies and just attack them in cold blood. They're very ruthless. After all the pain and suffering that Dr. Eggman has put them through.
Yep, it's Flicky's revenge. And there we go. It took us like 10 minutes, but we are out of Mushroom Hill.
And now that we have completed Act 2, we do the reset for a cutscene skip. Otherwise, we would have to sit through and watch the flying battery literally fly over us.
Alright. So this stage, I'm just going to do as intended, I think.
It's by design.
Heck.
Oh, that didn't
No,
get that one.
that was not what we intended. Gonna try this again. This is a lot harder with Tails than it is with Sonic for some reason. Alright, I think I'm a little closer now.
That should be good.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect.
So this glorious sprite that is gracing your television screens or computer monitors, wherever you may be watching this right now, this is as intended. By design, it looks like this. Like Tails is pretty much stuck in this state, and he can just walk through walls casually and just go right into the boss fight, in which we're going to be approaching Mr. Tickles right here.
Mr. Tickles.
That seems like an Argic name. Did Argic think of that, or was it HUD's?
I thought it was HUD's that called him that.
That's also a HUD's name.
Yeah, so here we are. We just have to let this boss hit itself 6 times. And then on the final hit, he's going to be standing on the corner of the button to set up Slope Glitch yet again. And we're going to need this for Act 2.
Alright, I can really easily screw up this entry, so basically I am going to send myself down into the basement of the ship and climb up the moving staircase, and we'll recap later. Give me a minute here. Alright, I got on there. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so far so good. I am on the underside of the ship. So now I need to make my way back up, and I'm going to take the moving staircase to do that, which is over here. So I'm going to fly up. 1. Whoops. 2. 3. Okay, I made it. That can be,
should be good.
a little tricky. I just have to remember to slow down because I'm on a set timer anyway. I should just take my time and make sure that trick is done right. So I am underneath the upwards moving platform that you stand on at the end of the laser boss fight, which I completely skipped. Now I have to catch up to it. Also, lovely weather we're having right now.
Very lovely, yeah. It's like broken emeralds.
Yep.
My favorite weather condition.
Nice clear skies with some glitched out clouds. Proper weather.
Yeah.
Oh, heck. Jumped at precisely the wrong time. But now we are good. So yeah, flying battery, we don't get to see much of it. But what we do see is pretty great.
And some 4, 5, 6s at the end there on the bottom corner when Robotnik was flying off.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. I just have to check that out.
Yeah, it was just as he was about to leave.
All right, so I'm thinking maybe I just don't play Sando 1. What do you think?
Yeah, let's not play this.
Yeah, this is not my favorite stage. I'm just not gonna play it.
Not a fan either, I agree.
All right, I'll see you guys at the end.
Cool. See you there.
And
What he
all-
ended up doing here, he basically just flew up into a corner and just kind of did a zip off that little corner there, and then it just kind of shot Tails all the way to the screen boundary, and then it just brings him all the way to the boss fight.
As far as I can tell, I am like very slightly wedging myself in the wall, which gives me the zip properties that a wall normally gives you. And so, like, it gives you the enormous speed that is meant to stop you from getting yourself trapped in a wall. But obviously, we abuse it horribly.
Yep, and now we gotta wait through the Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson here to kind of mosey on over to the sand pit.
Is the transition to Sando from Flying Battery the only cutscene that's faster to not skip? No, there's also the Hydro City cutscene that is not worth skipping for numerous reasons. Actually, I want to avoid resetting at all between Hydro City and Carnival Night because I want the memory laid out in a very specific way to allow me to move correctly through the ceiling while I'm skipping Carnival Night 2. If I were to reset at any of those points, I would have been forced to take a different route, and it would have been a lot slower.
So here we are in Sandopolis 2. This is another vertically infinite level as well. We will be utilizing some screen wraps here. There is actually one trick that Sonic can do. It's called Loop Clip, but we're not going to be utilizing that trick here with Tails. So with Tails' advantage of having the ability to fly, we can just completely skip the quicksand auto-scroller section.
It is possible for Tails to do a loop clip. I'm just very bad at it, so I'm not doing it this time around.
No, it's all good.
And I am intentionally losing my rings here, because I have to carefully manage when I turn into Super Tails in this stage. Because you know the blocks that you destroy that makes the sand come down?
Yep.
My birds, if I'm Super Tails, will automatically destroy those. And if those are destroyed, then I can't do a major skip I'm going to do shortly. Alright.
Yeah, this would normally be the auto-scroller section of the sand rising up, but since we didn't break those open, Tails can just fly up there and open the doors without having any worry of, having the sand rise up and crush him.
I mean, this isn't a speedrun trick. You can just, do this in the game. Why did I move that switch? I don't need to move that switch. Okay, now I am going to use those vertical walls to force myself into the wall and skip a lot of the pyramid section. Now I'm going to use the power of flight to skip even more of the level. If my button presses are good, that is. Okay. This doesn't bode horribly well for boss skip and lava reef, but we'll make it work. I'm really carefully managing my height right now, because if I let Tails move up too far, it will ruin another glitch I'm trying to do at the very end of the level. So I'm making sure I keep my head down. I also have to dispel those ghosts there because of the trick I'm about to do. I am going to collect these rings just to be super safe, because I have so few right now. Alright, I pulled it off. The boss fight just sort of forgot to happen.
Happens, honestly. I get
Yeah,
it.
it's a mood.
We have those days.
And there we go. Everything is now completely normal.
Yep, totally normal. Nothing unusual to see here. I mean, the blood ghost, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't.
Classic Sonic Blood Ghost.
I do not 100% understand what happened there, except to say that by going up that sand waterfall and managing my height, I just don't trigger something that's supposed to be triggered that makes the boss fight happen. I don't really know many details beyond that.
So here we are in Lava Beef. We'll be grabbing the fire shield here because that'll actually protect us on the lava if we try to walk on it, or just any kind of flames, elemental object. Just kind of protect us from those. I'm gonna just kind of wait a little bit for this Crusher dealie to do its doodad thing here. And now we're gonna see Sunfence fly up in this section.
Yeah, sorry, no stair clip as Tails. There's something better.
Oh, this I would like to see.
Jump, spin dash, and here I am. Maybe it's actually a little slower, but I just find stair clip much more difficult as Tails because he's shorter than Sonic. So that is a nice backup.
That was actually pretty neat. I didn't know about that.
I didn't know about that either until I saw it in a video of PB by KOR Sonic, who is chasing me down on the leaderboards.
Yeah, that's a very nice strat.
Now, this boss is just kind of fun to complete, except I have to defeat the boss in a very specific place, right here. Alright, can I do this? Give me a second. Yes, that should be perfect. And it is!
There we go.
Cool.
So this right here, this is monitor clip. This will save over a minute of playing Lava Reef 2. And what TSD is going to do here is going to wait for a specific time, start moving. And then he's just going to kind of appear in Knuckles' area.
I like how Tails yawned there, then suddenly it just zips through the entire stage.
Yeah, he was completely bored.
It's like business as usual, it's fine.
Holy crap, did I just do that first try?
First try object phase
Let's
there.
go.
I can't even tell you how much I was dreading that trick. That is by far the hardest trick I've incorporated into this run. I could lose minutes on that trick if I did it wrong. It requires a near perfect 6-tap spin dash followed by 2 precisely timed very quick spin dashes to force the camera off screen and allow me through that rock that normally only Knuckles can break. Oh no, by the way.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh no.
And so by getting through that rock, it allows me into Knuckles' exit where I don't fight the boss. That saves 2 solid minutes. And I'm so glad that went well.
And now Knuckles is playing his air guitar, trying to, you know, tell Robotnik to put down the Master Emerald.
Alright. If this were my chat, this is where I would ask for the OZAP emote to be posted. But I don't think we have it in the GDQ chat.
Yep, OZAP. So we just get to see Knuckles' skeletal anatomy for a short bit there, and now he's trying to go for the slinkies. That's one.
No, only one Slinky. That's okay.
Only one slinky, that's fine. You still got slinky.
Yep. Like, the really hard part is over. I saw KOR Sonic in the chat freaking out at the object phase. Thank you for that. He does this route. He knows how hard that is.
And here we are in Sky Sanctuary. So we're just going to intentionally wait here because there is a cutscene happening right now with the Death Star. Death Egg. I'm just kind of floating up, doing its thing. So by doing this spin dash, at the moment when Knuckles jumps out of the launcher there, it actually brings this vine to pretty much a convenient point where he can just grab it right away.
Now for the easiest trick in the game. You can try this at home. Vertical level wrap, jump to the right, fly once, fly twice, and you've skipped basically all of Sky Sanctuary.
Yep, and utilizing that screen wrap, you just basically went all the way to the top of the level without having to fight 2 optional boss fights. It's basically Mecha Sonic and Sonic 1 and Sonic 2. This is the actual Mecha Sonic fight. And this guy can give you some pretty nasty RNG.
Oh, I got the nastiest of RNG. There we go. Had to wait for a 3rd cycle, unfortunately.
Yeah, very nicely done, though.
Thank you. Now for one last
Very good.
cutscene skip, because this cutscene is incredibly long.
Yep, the cutscene is basically just Tails running up this spiral tower to catch the Death Egg. But since we had the power of the cutscene skip, it'll just completely skip that entirely and just go right into Death Egg.
I saw someone in chat saying Sonic is, like, reacting to a glitch, saying Sonic is such a well-designed game. I am going to say this is an incredibly well-designed and put-together game for, like, casual players. If you're not trying to break this game, it's really solid and really well-made. But basically, anyone who is trying to break a game is going to break it eventually. There's nothing the developers can do about that. So kudos to them for putting together a game that is honestly much more advanced than what should have been possible on this console. The physics engine that powers the early Sonic games is like a small miracle. It's just a miracle with a few cracks in it.
Very beautiful disaster, just like Super Smash Bros. Melee. How competitive it's for that. I can't.
So that route I took is a Tails-only route that allows me to skip most of the stage. I guess Hypersonic can also do it because he's got that Hyper Dash. But that is the fastest way to go. And in later re-releases of this game, they just added springs so that anyone could take it.
And this is Red Eye, so his first phase, he just has a lot of spinning balloons that break randomly and they just shoot out spikes. This second phase here, since TSD has the power of Super Tails, he can just kind of stay inside the hitbox and just get all 8 quick hits in there with no hesitation whatsoever.
If you don't have the super form, that boss is horrible. Ask any speedrunner of this game.
Yep, definitely is horrible.
So, if this was on my stream or if I was on world record pace, there is a skip I would be going for right now that would let me skip past basically this entire level. But there is a chance that it will soft lock the game, so I'm not going for it, and I'm just going to speed through the level as Super Tails.
Probably a good idea.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I am way ahead of my estimate at this point, because this has gone shockingly well.
You're doing very well right now, for sure.
Well, since he is playing through the entirety of Death Egg 2 here, I can probably explain what would the strat would look like. So, as similar it is as it was in Hydro City 2, where you take that intentional death to unload Act 1 from Act 2, that is the same exact situation in this level. And there is a way for Sonic and Tails to clip inside a wall, but you have to do this upside down as well. And there's like I think it's a 2-frame window to get the jump correctly, to position either Sonic or Tails in the wall to go all the way to the boss fight. But it is a very scary trick, and especially at the very end of the run here as well. So I do give TSD props for not taking that, because it is a very difficult trick to go for, and it could take potentially minutes to get.
Yeah, because Tails is too short to ride the normal glitch rides, there is a chance that at the end of the trick he just soft locks. So not gonna do it. If this were Sonic, I would do it because there's much less risk. It's just the risk of wasting time.
And another thing, like with Sonic as well, like he has the ability to double jump with the lightning shield. Whenever Tails or Knuckles has a shield, they cannot do any of the special abilities that Sonic can do. They still have their flight and glide mechanics, which is probably like another reason why it's not like really beneficial to go for that trick, especially in the marathon setting. And this is a Ooh Ball here. He just says ooh every time, and if you make fun of his movies, he'll try to fight you.
Shout out to the flickies who are just trying their best right now. They're really trying hard.
They're doing so well. I'm happy for them.
If you ever really hated this boss fight, this is the fastest way to fight him. Just, I miscounted 100%.
I think the Flickies destroyed one of those cards.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well. Oh, thank goodness I can still do that. Yeah, I was certain I was counting right, because that was supposed to be number 8, and it was only number 7.
Yeah, it was. I think I saw one of the Flickies just destroyed it. So
the Flickies, we were doing okay for a while, but now you're on my list. Anyway, I spin dashed into this arena for a reason. Supersonic, can you explain that?
So, by doing that spin dash before the screen transition, it actually gives you a very easy phase 2 fight. However, there is no ground on the right side of the stage, so you can actually easily die if that were the case. So we want to stay towards like the middle or the left side as best as possible. That is phase 1, which is the fingers phase. This is the phase 2 that's coming up, in which he'll shoot flames out of his nose and shoot a beam in his chest. But with the spin dash and the utilization of slope glitch here, you can just get all quick 8 hits.
There's supposed to be a barrier that pushes you back, but we forced it over to the left, and it doesn't exist anymore. And now I just have 8 more hits.
Yep, and time is coming up on fade outs.
Yep. 6, 7, 8. Ready, and time.
Nice.
GG.
GG's all around.
I want to see what my RTA was, because that felt like a really good run.
I checked it a few minutes ago, and it was pretty fast. I'm looking at the stream for delay, and 5707.
That's really nice. And for
Very good.
For the RTA minus TB timing method, you can generally subtract about a minute, so that's about a 56-minute run, which is really strong.
Very good.
My PB, my world record for this is a 51:58, so I am appreciably close to that.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Now we get to see the ending, and we get to see the dolphins on the way out, chasing after us on the plane. Yeah, I think that's all I've got to say. Tails sadly does not go through the Doomsday Zone, which is a nice, fun-ish little treat at the end that, you don't really get to see a lot of in speedruns because most people aren't collecting emeralds, but it's all good. It's still a very fun, satisfying run.
Absolutely. Quick question for both of you on the way out. Who are your favorite Sonic characters?
For me, I would say either Sonic himself or Blaze the Cat, who is seriously awesome and underrated.
Ooh. Blaze is cool.
As for me, although I am called Supersonic, but my favorite character is actually Knuckles.
I love Knuckles too. Let's go.
That is actually my favorite character, but I am also a Sonic guy. I mean, I do speedrun a lot of Sonic games with Sonic, but yeah, Knuckles just has like a very special place in my heart, like especially when I first played Sonic and Knuckles back in '94, and he's like such a cool character, being able to go to different routes and just the degree of difficulty that he has like over Sonic and Tails is really neat.
Yeah, I remember playing Knuckles exclusively to the point where I didn't know the Death Egg was a level in that game.
Yeah.
So, any shout-outs on the way out of here? Anyone you guys shout out? Or I know chat should follow sound effects. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, please do
If you
follow.
enjoyed that run, absolutely.
I promise I do stream this on occasion. I've just been busy recently. But I am going to get back to streaming this. I'm going to be speedrunning Sonic 06. I'm going to be learning Sonic Adventure 2. So if any of that sounds appealing to you, please go ahead and drop me a follow. And also please drop a follow to my commentator Supersonic, who plays all of the classic Sonics extremely skillfully, and also a lot of classic Mario games. He's one of the only speedrunners I know who does both of those. So please give him a follow.
Absolutely.
Or shoutouts.
I'd also recommend that.
Shoutouts. Thank you, Shasta, for having me on this show. Thank you to Jujamoy, a TAS contributor who engineered like the science behind the blue sphere glitch and made almost all of the special stage routes you saw in this speedrun. And shoutouts to the entire classic Sonic speedrunning community, which is one of the coolest group of people you will ever find on the internet. Fantastic group all around.
They're pretty great, I gotta agree. That being said, we do have one more run today for this show, but first off, I have just realized I didn't say announcements earlier, so I gotta say a few announcements before we go to the break. So, did y'all know that Awesome Games Done Quick 2024 is happening? And it'll be live in person in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania from January 14th to the 21st. Currently, Spirit submissions are open for that until September 10th, which I'll be submitting to myself. And also, volunteer submissions will close September 18th, which I've already submitted something for as well, so hooray. Use ! AGQ in Twitch chat for more info. If you're interested in camera, check-in, tech, or any of the other volunteer positions, be sure to apply even if you don't have the experience with it. Pretty cool. And also, GDQX is also happening as well. That's a thing. It'll be a TwitchCon from October 20th to the 22nd. The event will take place on the Games on Quick stage as well as streamed live on our Twitch channel. This one right here, you're watching right now. Unless you're on YouTube, which in that case, thanks for watching as well. Use GDQX in Twitch chat to find out more info and check out the games list there, which got released recently. It's very good. Big fan.
Yep, I'll be on it.
Also, you are? That's right, yeah.
Nice.
Very cool. And also, I saw some mention in chat they missed the run earlier. If you're, you can actually watch this on YouTube at youtube.com/gamesdonequick if you missed any past broadcasts for Hotfix shows or any of our past events like Flame Fatales. So check it out there. That being said, we are going to break. When we get back, we'll be playing some. We have a Joker on with Sonic R100%, which I am very excited for. I love that game. But yeah, be back in a little bit, everybody. All right, everybody, welcome back to Do All the Things. We have one last little run right here, Sonic R100% by Joker. But before we get into that, I have two more announcements we gotta get through, so spare with me this one. So your subs, Prime Gaming subs, gift subs, and bits cheered on the GDQ Twitch channel help support Games Don't Quit Hotfix. Please consider subscribing if you enjoy daily speedrunning content. That'd be pretty cool, honestly. I do like what they do. But yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, you also be sure to press the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel. And go to twitch.tv/gamesdonequick if you're interested in looking at our live content, such as this right now. That being said, hello, Joker. Hello.
Hello, Shasta. Hello, GDQ. As Shasta said, my name is Joker. This is going to be a presentation of Sonic R100% No Out of Bounds. There are some glitches in some of the courses that you can go out of bounds in and completely negate the entire course, but we're not going to do that. We're going to play it through the entire way. I'm not alone here. I have a good friend of mine here alongside with me on the virtual couch. Say hello to the fans, HypnoShark.
Yes, sir. Yes, you do. I got front row seats to this one, and I can't wait. You're going to kill it, man. You're going to absolutely kill it. But yeah, Sonic R 100%. Short but sweet. And yeah, like I said, Joker's going to kill it. So
just a preface of exactly what could happen here. I did just a generic warm-up run before we went live, and as I was talking with Hypno, I set a PB by almost 15 seconds. So
let's go.
It sounds like it's going to be a good day here.
It was quite a warm-up.
Yeah, it's quite a warm-up. What we're going to do here is with character selection, we're actually going to play as Knuckles, and we'll explain that here in a little bit once we get in. And we're also not going to start on the first track. We're starting with Reactive Factory, and that's another bit of routing that we'll explain here as the run goes on. But if everybody's ready, I'm ready, and I'll give you a countdown.
I'd say we are personally.
All right, let's go countdown in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and race.
Well, Spare, see a lot of dance emotes in Shatter's entire run.
I'm expecting to see a lot of dancing emotes as I look back through this.
Yeah, I feel like I might be partially to blame for that. My sincerest apologies, but that's how it is.
Ooh, that's really good. So, so the goal of 100% is to get 5 Sonic coins and then collect all 7 emeralds through the 4 main tracks. The first track has 1 emerald. The rest of the tracks until Radiant Emerald have 2. So you're going to see me go do a couple things here to try to get these coins, kind of go out of the way just a little bit to pick up those Sonic coins. And I'm also trying to collect as many rings as I can because the emeralds are behind gates that open up with rings. Most of them are 50 ring gates. Some of them are 20 ring gates that will still need to open up. So I'm going to try to do my best to collect all of the rings that I can. One of the things you may notice and see that it is snowing and there is ice on the ground. And that is by design. We play on easy mode because it makes things a little bit easier for us, obviously. We also play with snow, and we play with snow so that we can skip a bunch of the parts of the course going over the ice. It just makes things a lot faster, and it makes it much easier for us to do things like this. Otherwise, this is all water.
Mentioning. Oh, go on. Sorry to interrupt.
No, all I was gonna say is that is all water, so it would be much harder to kind of dodge and jump around through to get to those to that emerald in that submarine.
Yeah, what I was gonna say was basically, so ring rowing is a huge part of this run, and you'll see that as we go through the levels here, as Joker finishes the first race and prepares for a challenge from Metal Knuckles. This is happening because he got all 5 coins and won the race. This actually has nothing to do with the emeralds. The purpose of the emeralds, which you'll see later, is to unlock Gold Supersonic.
Yep.
And he said Gold Sonic. What a casual. To unlock Supersonic, and that's going to be used for the final race. But ring rowing, as I say, very, very important. He's going to on purposely avoid the zippers in the races where he's collecting the coins, because he needs the rings to get the coins and emeralds rather than to go on the zippers. But in races like these, where it's basically an any percent pass, because he's already got everything from the level, he's going to be trying to get 50 rings, like this. He has 55, as you can see in the top left. And he's going to go off a zipper, and as you can see, that's very, very fast.
Yeah, the zippers themselves can save a full 50 ring zipper can save like 3 seconds over the course. There's two courses that I will not be going for a full 50 on. One of them we won't even hit the zipper because there's a better shortcut to take. And the other one, personally, I try to go for a shorter version because it makes it easier to cut through to the end of the course. But yeah, we are already just about done here with Reactive Factory and beating Metal Knuckles. So first course out of 4 double races done.
That's really, really good. That was a really, really good start. Again, this is one of the levels that has 2 emeralds. Depending on Joker's route, the next level will have 1 or 2. If
we're gonna go to Resort Island.
Yeah, I had a feeling.
Or as I like to call it,
this one has 1. Yeah,
I like to call it an any percent reset island.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Nice start boost, by the way. Start boosts are done in this game by holding down and mashing the accelerator, whatever you use for accelerate. Oh, that's an awkward coin. Nice, well done.
Okay, I got it.
Well adjusted.
No, I don't like this.
Oh,
don't like that.
This actually is a good time to showcase RNG. There's a certain amount of item RNG in this game. When you hit the items, you can either get 5 rings, 10 rings, 20 rings, an item that collects all the gold rings around you, and speed shoes, which is what Joker just got. Speed shoes, unlike what the name implies, is actually really bad, because you can't do a lot of the tech in this game whilst you have them, which I'm sure Joker will explain now.
That was
some of the tech in the game?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a tree.
Yeah, that's a tree. That's not speed tech. That's just a tree. The main speed tech you're actually going to see here is what's called counter drifting. As I run into the wall there, I've actually completely spaced the fact that I need more rings here. That's all right. That's why we practice these things. So the main speed tech, like I said, is going to be counter drifting. So there is a drift mechanic in the game. You have the left and right drift. And what those do is they essentially just slide you over left and right.
Go.
Oh, I'll be able to beat him. He took the... Oh, no. Well...
Yes!
We got it. Nice. All right,
So
cool.
we got the check. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if this is why I gave a cushy estimate, just in case I have to replay a track. Because I brain fart.
I was going to say, did you win that? I couldn't tell.
I couldn't tell either. If I did, it was literally by a frame.
Well, I guess we'll see at the end of this.
Yep. If not, I just have to replay and get both of the emeralds, which won't be.
Yeah. So it's not.
Yeah, won't be too long. But what you're seeing here, like I said, is counter drifting. So the drift mechanic actually, when you're holding the drift button, it actually speeds you up to go around the turns. So we manipulate that by flipping the direction that we're drifting while we're turning. So when I go into a turn, I'm holding the right drift, but immediately holding the left drift and then tapping right, or the direction I was turning. That's going to at least keep my momentum and keep my turning going the way that I want to go, help keep me kind of as straight as I can, but it maintains the momentum shift and the power of the... Nope.
No.
I didn't get it.
Oh, no.
That's okay.
Unlucky.
That's okay. We get to hear that song one more time.
I'm fine.
Yeah,
It was all planned out. We get to hear the music one more time. And this will actually be a little bit faster because I don't have to worry so much about getting like all of the extra rings and coins. I can just save as many rings as I can, get the 50, and then we'll be good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Especially as there's only one Chaos Emerald here as opposed to two.
Yeah.
Which, to be honest, this was probably, if you were going to pick a race to fail, it's probably the best one to fail,
Yeah,
honestly.
absolutely, because it is very short, especially with the counter drifting through that ruins. That cuts off a lot of time. As you might have seen in the first, or the race against Metal Sonic, it was like my laps were 15, 16 seconds long. So very, very quick first course. But at the very least, if I mess up, it's not too much. It's not too long of a redo.
That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine because Sonic has just now started his third lap, so we're good. And
Yeah, it's worth mentioning, actually, this is one of the benefits of playing on snow and on easy, because if you're playing this game on medium or hard, especially hard, it's incredibly hard to one-cycle these levels and get all the coins, all the emeralds, and still finish first. So the fact that we can play on easy is very nice.
yeah, makes it a lot better for mishaps like that. So now we're moving on to probably one of my favorite songs of the game in Reactive Factory.
Favorite song of all time, bro.
Oh my goodness. Same. Okay. Love this song.
Song is unreal.
The soundtrack for Sonic R by far is my favorite Sonic soundtrack, without a doubt. Like, no hesitation. I'm picking Sonic R as my favorite Sonic soundtrack.
It might be my favorite as well.
It's just that good.
It's up there for me if two Sonic Adventure games, honestly. It's so freaking good.
It's unreal. It has no business being in any video game. It should be its own thing. Like, it's crazy that it's here. But
Pinball.
I agree. Like, whoever's Sun this should just release this as a solo album. I haven't made a part of a game, but like, I'm glad they did it here. I'm glad they did. They made this 1997 Sega Saturn game very memorable in the end, and like, I'm glad about that.
And that
sure did.
That is one of the things that I did not mention. I am playing on the PC port, which has the best load times, as in no load times, as opposed to the PS2 or the GameCube or the Saturn versions, which all have varying load times based on their hardware.
Yeah, so when I have done runs of this game in the past, I've played on PS2, and the loading times are about maybe 7-8 seconds. And the frame rate is a little bit slower as well because it's on PAL, which is only, I believe, 25 FPS. Whereas on PC, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's 30?
Yeah,
Could be mistaken.
I believe it is 30 FPS on PC as well.
Yeah, that basically means every 6 seconds, PC saves a second over PAL versions of the game, which is quite something.
There's a trick here on this course specifically with that plunger section and the what was I going to say? The plunger section and going up over those reels that I can try to show off here this time around. But it's what I think we call a quick drop or a fast drop. Coming off of this little area here, if I hold down the jump button, or if I jump early and hold it down until I get up here and then let it go, Knuckles you actually drop to the track a little bit faster than if you were to just stand and wait, or if you were to just have the jump as normal. It saves maybe a second or two, not even a full 2 seconds, but maybe a second over the course of 3 laps. But when you're doing a racing game where the world record is under 12 minutes, any kind of time save is in-game time. Any kind of time save is much appreciated.
For sure. It's actually a great track to show off more of the counter drifting tech, especially on the last turn. After the big jump up that's coming up here. Mm-hmm. The counter drift here is really, really exaggerated, as you will see now.
Yes, it's especially if you watch how Knuckles is leaning one way but still turning the other way. That's kind of indicative of getting that counter drift.
All right, man. On track to go. And then everybody truly is supersonic racing.
Yeah.
I'm Supersonic Racing.
No, I'm Supersonic Racing.
No, I'm Supersonic Racing.
I'm pretty sure producer Ray is also Supersonic Racing, but I could be wrong.
I'm sure they are.
True.
I'm sure they are.
Very real.
This is actually the course that I was worried about messing up on or needing to redo, because the emeralds that you get, because of little sections like that, but the emeralds that you get on this course are hidden under pyramids that emerge, that kind of like come up as you. I am not getting any rings here. That's not good. That jump up, as you open up the gates. So if you don't see them and you don't listen out for the jingle, you can miss the emerald completely, and it's bad news bears. So this was the one that I was a little bit worried about messing up on and missing the emeralds on. All right.
You can see Joker on purposely jumping over the zipper on that end section because you are going to need all the rings you can get. You need 50 here for this emerald. After you grab this coin here. You're gonna need 50, and this is the emerald he's talking about.
Got it. I heard.
Yeah.
I heard the jingle. It's very faint, but it's there.
Great. That's the emerald that they were talking about, and it's really, really like you say, it's really, really faint. And then you need another 20 rings for this here, and then they're gonna get this emerald here. Very nice.
So the reason we do, like I said, the reason we do easy, we kind of explained it a little bit earlier. I don't remember if Hypno mentioned when you play through the rest of the courses, the other races are actually replaced by their mech versions in medium and hard. So it, and I don't remember if you mentioned that or not.
I didn't. I brought up medium and hard, but I did not bring up that fact.
So that's what makes it even more difficult, especially if you do the Reactive Factory as your fourth race instead of your first race. It makes... Okay, that's fine. But doing Reactive Factory as your fourth means that you're going up against four of the metal versions. And Egg Robo, much like Robotnik himself, can actually shoot projectiles at you. And it can really throw you off guard and make you miss turns and miss jumps and whatnot. So we play on easy, and we do the routing specifically so that we avoid like that. So that we, as he does shoot me, and he's probably going to shoot me again here in a moment.
Oh my goodness. Nice wall.
Yeah. Well, it was not wanting to play nice there, but at least we avoided. Okay. And this is this was the other track where I want to get a small amount of rings, because coming around that corner with the small amount of rings is actually faster than getting a full 50 and then looping all the way around to the finish.
Yeah, because getting 50 rings there, like whilst you're going fast, it does take forever. And worth mentioning here, we are picking Supersonic.
And yeah,
and we're going to the final level.
We are on our final track here. And this is the first one where you will be playing against all of the metal versions. But it's with Supersonic, if you can also control your drift a little bit, it's much easier than you'd think it would be.
Also worth mentioning that with ring mounting here, you want to get 100 within around the first lap and a bit, because you unlock you're good. You unlock a shortcut with 50, not this one. You ignore that one because it's actually not as fast and not worth the 50 rings. You want to wait to get 100 rings-ish, because this shortcut coming up right at the start of this lap costs you 50 rings, and then immediately there is a zipper where you want 50 rings again. So 90 goes to 40, as you can see in the top left. I mean, they're going to try and get 50, unlucky. Right. That's fine. I mean, 47 is so close to 50, that time loss is not really going to be felt. And yeah, and now the ring round becomes a lot easier, because yes, you need 50 rings for the final lap, but you don't need to open the shortcut again because it's already open. So you already have 38, 12 more, and you've got the optimal setup.
I'm feeling fine as far as getting the rings. It's usually controlling Supersonic after controlling Knuckles for most of the game. It's a little bit of a shift, and getting that first lap is just trying to get Sonic under control is what gets a little bit hectic, especially around this corner. This turn is why one of the small things I like about any percent over 100% is with Knuckles, you can actually skip that completely, clip into the wall above that helix. So you
worth mentioning, time's coming up.
Yep, and time.
So much information we could barely cram it all in. Good stuff.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
That is
very good.
Even with a little bit of a mishap, that is Sonic R. I'm gonna go ahead and hit the exit so that we can listen to that's also the symbol of hitting 100%, essentially getting all of the emeralds and getting all of the extra characters.
That was really fun.
Yeah, but that is Sonic R 100%, no out of bounds. I adore this game. It's a blast to play. It's very easy to pick up as well, especially the any percent routes. With Knuckles as the main character. There's also a new game plus category, which is technically all 5 races with Supersonic. And that one, I think the world record is just over 4 minutes in game time. So it flies by. It's a very short game to go through all of the tracks, but it's a lot of fun to play. And there is a lot of in-depth strategy and like learning how to use the drift mechanic properly. And there's even wall drifting and wall bouncing that I don't implement myself because I'm not that good at it. And it's yet another way to speed up, gain more speed, is bouncing and drifting into the walls. So there's even more tech that I don't implement in my runs, just because I'm not, that good at it yet and haven't really practiced that. But there's a lot of in-depth stuff to it. It's a lot of fun to play, and it's a very short run, so it's something very easy to get into and set up and get yourself rolling.
Yes, sir. I mean,
Yeah.
Look, I said they were gonna kill it. They killed it. I mean, yeah, that was a great run. If not for Resort Island, that would have been quite literally perfect. I mean, that wall in Regal Ruin was tough, but yeah. Like literally 2 things. I mean, you can't be mad at that.
Yeah, no,
Absolutely.
very happy with that.
That's great.
Yeah, Hypno, do you have anything you wanted to say or share?
The only thing I want to say is that Joker's a legend, and you should check them out on their Twitch, because they be playing this game, they be playing other games, they deserve it, they deserve your attention. Yeah, do yourself a favor and follow them. You're not doing them a favor, you're doing yourself a favor. So, yeah, that's what I gotta say.
I appreciate that. And yeah, I also want to extend the shout outs to Hypno Shark as well, who's world record holder in multiple Crash Team Racing categories, Crash Tag Team Racing, just a bunch of the Crash games. He plays all through those, Spyro as well. Hypno is a blast. His community is fantastic. Go give him a follow as well. Go enjoy yourself some Crash Team Racing. He does play Sonic R on occasion as well, and the chat and the community makes sure that he doesn't talk during his Sonic R runs, so that we can listen to the music and spam all the dance emotes and do everything in the chat through his runs. So go give him a follow as well.
I love that so much.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Yeah, I'm on Twitch, Just Joker. You can also find me on Twitter, or whatever it's called nowadays, just_Joker. I have like a bunch of my other socials that are on there as well, if you wish to give me a follow. Shout outs also to Mr. Shasta for having me on, for Railcoon as well for being an amazing producer, making sure the show runs smoothly. Thank you both for having me on. Thank you all for having me on GDQ. It's been a blast. And that's the end.
There it is. That being said, it's also the end of my show as well, too. Thank y'all for watching Do All the Things this week. If you want to be a part of this show, if you have any cool 100% runs or like all whatever runs to submit, then go to gamestarquick.com/hotfix and submit via the forum there. I would love to have you. But yeah, that being said, we're done for the night. For me personally, we got more runs after this, but not with me involved. But so yeah, after this we have, I think, I want to say it's actually I don't know entirely, but I think it's a Spyro the Dragon showcase. I want to say, or just some other showcase for sure. It should be very cool, and you should stick around for that. So yeah, be right back in a little bit, everybody. More hotfix. So stick around.